Hello everyone, welcome to Derana BIZ 24. You know, in this program, we have spoken to so many personalities in so many institutes under so many industries. When talking about so many different industries, lately we have tapped into the education industry. And talking about the education industry, today we have IIHS to have a conversation with. They are the International Institute of Health Sciences. Talking about them, they prides itself on being Sri Lanka's premier international university learning center dedicated to creating highly recognized healthcare professionals in the world. To talk about this institute, I have two renowned guests with me today. So let me introduce them to you first. First of all, let me introduce Dr. Kitsiri Edrisinghe, who is the CEO and co-founder of IIHS. Hello to you, sir.
Hello.
And next, I would like to introduce Dr. Dinusha Kanatiwala, Head of Academics at IIHS. Hello to you as well,
Hello.
Dr. Dinusha. So, as I welcome both of you now, IIHS takes the pride of 2 decades in the industry, and you all have done so well. So, I would first like to start with Dr. Kitsiri Edrisinghe. Over these 2 decades of experience in delivering international programs in healthcare industry, and also now you being a doctor, health administrator, now into the education, what is your experience over these years, doctor?
It is an amazing experience. When I was a kid, and as a high school kid, as well as the medical student, and then moved into postgraduate, and all that time I had this curiosity how this learning occurs, because we have spent a lot of time on learning, and how does it occur. Luckily, with my medical background, then when I moved into as an educationist, I could relate most of the things. So let's talk about how the brain develops, starting from there. So generally, when humans are born, we are born with about 100 billion brain cells. That is equivalent to the Milky Way, you know, that kind of a brain cells. And these brain cells, by the year of 2 years, they would grow to a 80% of the adult level. So if you get a 2-year kid, they could have a certain amount of capacity, you know, but the brain cells itself won't do anything. That has to join each other to work. So between year 2 and year 7 of a kid's life, this will grow and join each other. That won't stop there. These brain cells connecting, and then they have to create compartments. For example, for us to see back of our brain, there's a thing called a occipital area in the brain. So that is compartment that specifically organized to see things. Hearing like that, you know, memories like that, other certain activities, all will have a brain. So that has to organize.
Yeah.
So in other words, we call it in layman's term, you have to prune the brain. So you prune a tree, no? Likewise, brain has to do this. Now, how does it happen? Very interesting. When the kid interact with the environment, then only the pruning happens. So therefore, it is uttermost important. Childhood age, they interact with the physical environment. So the preschool era is extremely important for you to not only have the brain properly organized. So what's the importance of this compartmentalization? When you learn, generally there are different theories on learning, and then the Harvard Gardner, Harvard professor, came up with a theory called multiple intelligence theory, where there's 8 types of learning. Some would like visual learning. They like to see a video or picture and all that. Some would like to listen to music, and then they stimulate the brain. You remember things. Some would like process charts, mathematics, all that.
Yeah.
And some would like to work together. Some would like to work alone, right? So different types of learnings are there. So now generally in third world, what we do is we do linguistically, reading. Teacher would read, you will have to write it down. When you go to the exam also, you will have to write. But if in case your speech, your language area, it has not been developed, you will fail your A-level exams. So this is the difference in modern trends, and then how you look at learning differently. And what we do, luckily for us with our international partners, we've learned over the last 20 years how to mold them and how to get best out of students who have been left out of the general system. So all the students who are coming to us, majority are not selected to the government sector. That's the cream there. But still, we manage to transform them simply because of these learning styles, different learning styles. So you will hear more from Dr. Dinusha regarding this. So it's basically a fascinating journey over the years, and I'm really I'm so privileged to see that this transformation of these students, and majority of them are working outside the country and having a very good quality life.
I think, like you mentioned, it's all about staying up to date and catering to different individuals in their form of learning, because not everyone's going to learn in the same form. With that, I would like to ask Dr. Dinusha as well about your experience in the education sector, and how do you really use that experience to transform the students?
Yes, so I'm someone who have been exposed to different types of education systems, where my basic education, secondary education is from Girls High School Kandy, one of the best in Central Province, and after which I entered University of Peradeniya to complete my bachelor's degree and also my PhD. And afterwards, when I joined with IIHS, I got the opportunity to work with different international universities, including universities from Australia, Finland, Scotland, even from UK. So with that exposure, what we expect from the education sector would be, in my opinion, definitely to make sure our students are transformed in a way that they can accept any challenge or any global level challenge. They should be able to work as international professional. One day they have to become a global citizen. So to achieve this target in the education sector, the current trends would be, it's not all about spoon feeding students.
Yeah, definitely.
In a traditional classroom, generally the teacher will be dominating the classroom. There will be passive teaching, there will not be any active learning by the students. But the new trends are different. With the new trends, it's all about student-centric classrooms, collaborative learning, they work together. With this student-centric learning environment, generally we expect students to create knowledge by themselves. We call it as constructive learning, knowledge creation by students by themselves. This is called as active learning as well. When the students are trained in a way that they study by themselves, teachers would act as facilitators only. So in a such environment, definitely the way students would think is different, where we call it as divergent thinking as well, where they start to think out of the box. They know how to face a problem, how to come up with multiple of solutions when they get exposed to a problem, and they know how to face challenges. So this is the transformation that we expect from the current education sector.
I think talking about the transformation, that is exactly what the parents would also want for their children when they get them into a university or an institute. Something they would look into is a great transformation or value for money also. So this is something out of the box for them as well. How had been the response from parents and students been for this concept of student-centric environment at IIHS?
Yes. The response is quite good, because generally all what we know is generally students will not like to sit in a classroom and learn. It's purely because they do not enjoy classroom learning. But if we can create a classroom which is enjoyable, definitely student will start liking the classroom. If you look at our delivery system, 40% of the time is given to the student. They are enjoying, they are actively engaged. So from there itself, we have seen the positive response from the student as well as from the parents as well, and we have seen holistic improvements from the students as well.
I think at the end of the day, that's what makes the institute and the students and parents all happy. With that, we would now like to take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Today we are in discussion with IIHS. Now, to continue the conversation, I would like to continue again with Dr. Dinusha. Now, at any institute, students face a lot of challenges in the education sector. Let's talk about some of these challenges faced by students, and how do you really groom the students at IIHS to face these challenges in the future?
Yes, so the challenges in the sense what I see is mainly generally a student would get a qualification and go out of the university or the institute, and when they step into the society, that is the place that they face challenges, because they might have a certain amount of knowledge and a qualification, but if they do not know how to work with the community, how to work in the society, how to work with the team, then they are in trouble. So that is why during the delivery process of our program, we ensure, apart from the academic aspects which I explained earlier, there's another aspect that we need to ensure in a way that students are gaining other skill set that they need to have when they are stepping the 21st century. Looking at few examples, first thing that we prioritize is evidence-based practice, because it's not all about teacher would tell them whatever the teacher knows and just to believe it. It's all about finding evidences by themselves and putting it to practice. They should definitely know that. And from the beginning, we ensure students have research skills as well. Even our advanced diploma students, undergraduate students, from the first year onwards, they start research. And by the time they end up the program, they would come up with couple of publications as well. In addition to that, we ensure students are doing couple of community projects, because if they do not know how to work with the community, if they do not know how to get a basic thing done by themselves, then it will be definitely a problem. That is why we have introduced multiple of community projects. At the moment, there are about 14 community projects running with the involvement of students, where they have to go to the community, they have to run a big project with the community. So, in addition to that, we have ensured the students' involvement in student committees as well. We have very strong 4 student committees. We have scientific committee, which where they are doing lot of academic related work. Where they organize research conferences, these days especially webinars. They do lot of academic related work. In addition to that, we have student council, where they organize different types of events. We have a sports committee. Even during the pandemic, they do lot of online activities. Very recently, they have started a committee called MAD. Music, arts, drama and dancing.
Nice.
So they are arranging a lot of entertaining events. So recently they had a e-concert as well. So these are the exposures that students should gain. It's not only about gaining knowledge, they need to develop all the other skill set that they need to have in terms of leadership, teamwork, critical thinking, how to solve a problem. So this is the way that we approach students in a way that they can face any challenge in the future.
I think that is the right balance of higher education. A student should actually get not just the books and the studies, but to think out of the box and to think about the community and all these activities. That makes a person, that builds a personality at the end of the day. Now, coming into Dr. Kitsari, talking about IIHS as a whole, when you go out to the society, there is a label for IIHS as spreading goodness. Now, with your experience for the past 2 decades, let's talk about this. How have you really been successful in spreading this goodness? And let's talk about this title also a little bit.
It's an interesting journey. Our organizational DNA is to add goodness to the society. So, spinning off from that, I could look at 3 major areas. One is the inclusivity. How can you include the students who have been left out from the system? So we'll include them. For example, our education systems in the third world have been geared based on our resource availability. So that's why we don't allow any science related program, like for example nursing. We allow only the science students to come in. There's no evidence in the other countries that the science students would do better during the nursing. So we work with the international norms. So we include them. In any stream they can come, and there's no barricade. They have to have only 3 simple passes. We include them because we have evidence. With 3 simple passes, they pass out in a GPA score of 3.9. 4 is the highest. So then the other thing is that even if they don't have available results, they have sat for 13 years of study, we allow them to do a foundation program and include them. So that's one of the inclusion criteria before they come to the program. During the program, we include them. Now, I'm adding something to what Dr. Dinusha said. So typical classroom study, we give them an anesthetic experience because we force them to study because it's very boring for them. their attention span is about couple of milliseconds, like the downloading speed.
Yeah.
So therefore, they can 10 minutes is a maximum attention span that they have. So therefore, you have to create a classroom which is giving them an aesthetic environment. For boys, watching a cricket match. For girls, watching a teledrama or Netflix. So where there is all the senses are open, you're bubbly and you love to study.
Yeah.
So this creating an enjoyable environment is one of the inclusive concepts. That's what we do. Including having this drama society is to stimulate the right brain. Because as a professional, we include the stimulate the left brain. So you have a tunnel vision. So they don't have many answers to a question.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. The second one is maintain the quality. So when you do an international program, you can't do it overnight. So we took about 20 years to come here, and then we have to abide by the international norms of the university as well as the professional body like nursing bodies, physiotherapy bodies of UK, Australia and Finland. So it's really a tough call, but we managed to train our staff and got in. So that itself, we are transforming the knowledge, international knowledge to the community. Right. Because all people who have graduated from us adding value to the common man who will come for their services. Thirdly, all this is good, but international qualifications are extremely expensive. For a 3-year program, if you go to Australia, it's about $10 million.
Yeah.
It's not easy to come to a middle income group to afford. So what we do is we created 2 pathways. One is articulated pathway. They study 3 years in Sri Lanka, then they go to the final year. We cut down the cost by 60%. It becomes very affordable. Even there are enough payment plans and loan schemes that they can afford. Then secondly, we deliver the total program in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
That's about 1/10 of the cost. For example, nursing program in UK is about roughly around 8 million rupees. Top up degree. We deliver it to our national nurses, or the government nurses, for nearly about 7-8 lakhs, 1/10 of the cost. So then after that they can go out of the country if they would like to go. So this making affordable, those are the 3 areas that I can talk about our achievements, and it has been fairly good. And we don't put the P&L up front, we look at the goodness up front. That is the profit that we gain.
I think that's exactly why you have got the label for as DNA is the goodness, spreading goodness at IIHS. Along with that now, when it comes to the decision making of higher education, I think this is a tough roundabout for parents and students when they have to really make a decision about their higher education. With your experience, Doctor, what are the factors that parents and students should consider when making a decision for their higher education?
It's a very, very important question. There are 2 things we'll have to look at. One thing is to select a profession. Second is select the educational system. So first one is, it's very easy. You go to internet, go to Google and type what are the first 15 jobs that will sustain for the next 15 years. They have predicted. So all the programs that we are doing, all will have the predicted top 10 jobs are in the program, like nursing, physiotherapy, biomedical science, health administration and teaching. All are there. And of course the PR activities also there, they can gain the PR also once they go out of the country. And then secondly, they have to look at what is the comfortable, whether they will be comfortable whilst they attain the job. Is the salary perks, what are the salary and at what age that they can get that salary. So about 25 years, all our students could gain about $5,000 salary. That's a sizable salary, you know. So then they have to look at whether it's very safe, if the environment is safe, because healthcare environment is the safest.
Yeah.
So that's all that tick boxes are done in the programs that we are doing. Then second, they have to look at the find a program that would attain that job. And then next thing is to find an organization or university to attain that job, that particular program. And then they have to look at the history of this, the outcome, how many students have gone out of the country, how many are doing well, are they living, are they doing well, have they come back to the country. And so all that is now we have about nearly 500 students, graduates working outside the country. So those are the things that they have to look at. And finally, the ROI, return on investment.
Yes.
How much money that you will have to invest for your son to get or daughter to get that much of a comfortable environment, better return.
Along with that, I think we have come to the latter part of the program today, but quickly if we can talk about the programs that are available at IIHS so that everyone who is watching this program are aware about the programs. Dr. Dinusha, would you like to cover that in a gist of time?
Yes. So, we bring a range of programs, both undergraduate and postgraduate. When it's come to health related programs, we have programs related to nursing, biomedical sciences, physiotherapy, and also health administration. And also we have education related programs as well. Those who have interest on working as a teacher, if you are working as a teacher, if you want to upgrade your qualification, education related programs are also available. Our next intake would be September 2021, especially those who have completed A-levels can join with us.
Thank you so much for sharing those information. With that, we have actually come to the end of today's program on Other Derana BIZ 24. But before we wrap up, let me give you the contact details. So if you're interested, I mean, this was an interesting conversation we had with IIHS. Very interesting that I also feel like inquiring their qualifications. So if you want to contact them, International Institute of Health Sciences, you can contact them on 01146511144 or 07736357716 or 07692222020. Those are the contact details of IIHS. So if you want more details, contact them and get them right away. So before we end up, thank you so much, Dr. Kitsuri, and thank you so much, Dr. Dinusha, for joining for this conversation. And thank you to you as well for watching this. We will come back to you soon with another episode of Other Derana BIZ 24.